What's up, H-Town and all around? Welcome back. Brand new year, brand new season. This is the Dash Dispatch. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for this season. But let's get into introductions first. Back with us, as always, is the dynamic Foxtrot, Andres. What's up, brother? Good to see you this year.
Yes, sir. Welcome to 2026. You have the Dash, man. Looking forward to it, man. I'm so ready for the season to start. It's taking forever.
Hey, and special guest joining us tonight, you H-Town Sports fan girl, Dani. How you doing? Welcome in and thank you.
Hi, hello. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Dash. And like Andrea said, I'm ready for the season to start. We still have a few months, but I'm so ready.
A lot to talk about, a lot to go over. We're going to run through it real quick. We'll give our opinions here towards the end, what we think is going to go on for this season, but there's a lot to get into, so let's just jump right into it. Dash are back to practicing back at HSP. Players are reporting. A lot of players signed during the offseason, but let's just start it off easy. Let's go with the preseason schedule that they're preparing for coming up. They're going to be in Coachella over in California. They have two games, 2:15 and 2:21, one against Bay FC and one against Portland. And then they're going to move over on 2/28, come down to Dallas. They're going to be in the Cotton Bowl. They're going to play the I-45 rivalry game against Dallas Trinity. This guy will be there in person and hopefully getting some good players, some good brawn. What for a Brees? Why did I say Braun? That's so rude.
Nah, don't say that.
Yeah, that's so rude. That's messed up. But some Fabrice and some players, hopefully after the game. I'm gonna make the travel up there. Sorry, Dynamo, that is a home game, but Dash comes first on this one right here,
Yep.
and that'll be the end of the preseason schedule. So Coachella and Dallas Trinity. Anything stand out there for y'all? Anything that's going to be now that we have all these players coming in? Of course, we'll talk about the players in a minute, but Coachella's a good one too because there's a lot of MLS and a lot of academy stuff going on over there at the same time.
I think the exposure in California will just kind of help our team, kind of get everyone to know who our players are and what we're made of.
Ready to play, and there's a lot of scouting going over there because, like I said, a lot of academy and a lot of younger players playing in tournaments over there. And then again, I'm excited for the Dallas Trinity game at the Cotton Bowl. That's going to be friggin' fun. We played Dallas Trinity once already, and we'll see how that goes. That was a 1-1 draw last preseason, but this one will be just as fun. Going to have a little rivalry, so no draw. Let's just get the win. That'll be that'll be 2 weeks before the season opens. All right, mentioning that's the schedule. That's the preseason schedule. Now we're jumping into the schedule. Opening away at San Diego, and that's going to be on 3/14, March 14th. That's opening the season away at San Diego. That's going to be a tough game. So we'll get to see how that one goes and get a good eye for our team already. Then we come back to at home the following weekend, March 21st, and we host expansion team Boston and Andres' favorite player in the whole
I knew you were
world.
gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say it, man. Don't bring it up. I'm still sad.
Barb
I'm
was
still
with
sad,
to
man. No.
Boston, so Barb is coming back with Boston, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruth. Hey, no, but go ahead, Dani.
No, it's going to be weird to see her in a different jersey, because she's one of us.
It is. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate some of the players that we've lost, but so for Andreas, the Venezuelan in him is going to be super sad seeing Barb
Yeah,
come back to Houston.
so
But that'll be a game that Andreas will have to make sure he gets to and get his interview with Barb at the end when she's coming down the tunnel.
I will definitely be there.
Man, that'll be a good game though. Boston's looking good. But moving on, 5:31 against Gotham at Gotham will be the last game before the summer break, and then we come back on July 3rd at Washington. What's going to happen during that summer break?
boy.
We're not sure yet, or I haven't heard yet, or whatever, or I forgot because it was announced so long ago. But we'll see what they do during that summer break. For it's going to be a whole month, so probably play some tournament against the Mexican teams again, unless they come up with something else as well. Final 5 home games is what really stands out to me. If this team is going to be a playoff team and competing to be a playoff team, 16 teams in this year in the NWSL, 8 teams make the playoffs. Final 5 games, 3 home games, 2 away, 2 of those against Portland, and then another one at Chicago. But you have Washington, Orlando, and Portland at home. Granted, Orlando's going on the down, but man, that's a brutal final 5 home games to finish off the season trying to make the playoffs. So there's other games, of course, in the schedule. But Danny, I'll start with you. Anything in the schedule pop out to you, and do you have a comment on those that final brutal 5 home game stretch? Not 5 home games, 5 game stretch.
I will say that just to begin with, I do hate and love that we're starting off with San Diego Wave, just because I feel like there's always been competition with that team. So for that to be like the first game of the season is really going to test how we've been practicing to get started for the season. Those last games, I'm really excited for Portland, and of course the Pride is always a fun crowd to bring out also. But the Stars, because 2 of our players have moved over there, and so I'm excited to kind of just keep seeing them, especially since we played them earlier in the season, and then we play them later on in that competition. And one of my favorites, Alozi, will be fun to watch over there. And she's one of my. I was so upset when her and Natalie Jacobs, when I hear they left, I was like, that hurt my feelings.
No, yeah, Natalie Jacobs definitely hurt, especially in the middle of the season. But yeah, like you said, it's gonna be a great game, especially with those 2 players have been massive for us. Now they're on the other side.
Yeah, and then I thought they were going to reunite with Shea Groom, but she left too. She just got traded, so I was like, okay.
Right, she went to North Carolina now.
Yeah.
Shay's in North Carolina. Alozi went to Chicago, and then whoever that other, forget who the other move was, but Andres, what do you see with the schedule, and comment on that final game, that final 5 game stretch?
Well, yeah, my first comment was pretty much how we're facing Portland Thorns in decision day again, and I'm like, man, I don't like it. They're literally a thorn in us sometimes, but we've been able to play well against them at times. But obviously, that's all the way in November, so we don't know what's gonna happen from here on out. But yeah, that one, and honestly, I'm looking forward to see the other expansion team, Denver Summit, play. They might be a firecracker team. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Big signing yesterday.
Yes, that makes me a little bit jealous, honestly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see him succeed. Hopefully this season, but not against the Dash. And yeah, and no, honestly, like every time I see a game against San Diego, Gotham, our arch nemesis, Kansas City Current, it's one of those games I always circle back on my calendar.
Crazy, man, crazy, yeah. So again, the final 5 home games is Portland. What was it? At Portland, Jesus, Washington, Orlando, at Chicago, and Portland to finish off the season. So that's the final 5 home games. So y'all look at the schedule, find you some good games to go to. There's a 713 night on there too. There's a couple deals that you can do to get you some tickets to the game. So come check out the Dash. There's, I think, only 2 Friday night home games this year, maybe more. There's a few Saturdays, maybe a couple Sundays, but it's a good schedule, looking good schedule. Only a couple conflicts if you're a Dynamo fan as well, so you're going to have to watch one on the TV while you're at the stadium watching the other. But so check out the schedule. I want to see you at Shell watching the Houston Dash this year. Let's get a little more people in the stands this season because the Dash are improving.
There's one Saturday that Dash play in the morning and then Dynamo play at night, and I look forward to that day, that little double feature day.
Doubleheader on the same day at the same stadium, or they?
No, at the stadium.
Yeah, especially when you have all the soccer that you need at the same time. Oh man, and you have
there's also a new streaming service called Victory Plus to add to the 50 million streaming services to watch all the NWSL games. But apparently this one's free, so it's okay. But just keep an eye on that because some of our games are going to be on Victory Plus.
Hey, well, I guess we'll keep you updated with that and let y'all know weekly. So if you follow Foxtrot or you follow Notempio, you'll know. You'll see it on our IG as well. We'll post the game day and let you know where to watch it. All right, moving on. Some players have moved on or player has continued their loans. Jalissa Harris has extended her loan with, I think it was Ottawa FC. So she stays with the team that she was with last season and continues her loan. I don't know what that means with Houston Dash. A 2-year loan already, so we'll see if she's able to come back at some point. But good for her to continue to get minutes, and looking like she's still having fun over there. Following her on socials, Liz Berkeley, a goalkeeper, was sent out to Tampa Bay 2 days later, played in the game, and made player of the match. Had a clean sheet. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it was a clean sheet. Just had an excellent game and made some excellent saves. And there's you can find a couple highlights where she just balling out. So credit to her and good shout out to her. I hope she does well over there. Rebecca with Logrono is starting at center back every week for Logrono, and they're playing well. They just got their first win over the weekend. It was a clean sheet as well, and on the road. So their first win in Liga F, and their first road win also this season. Zoe, unfortunately, however, all we can do is last we seen she was in Dallas, and we don't know if she's hurt or her loan was concluded or canceled or whichever. So we can't make no assumptions, but it could be she hurt and she's rehabbing and she may return back to Logrono before their loan ends, I believe, in July. But anything y'all want to comment on the loans? Those are the 4 loans that we know of, and there could be more, but I doubt it.
It might be a recall for Zoe, probably for the either preseason or just because of the injury, like you said. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not more so worried right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, she did good last season. She had her moments.
I was excited for Zoe. I'm hoping this is just an injury that she's working on and she's going to get back to Logrono and get to play. Rebecca's playing every week and starting every week. Look, Rebecca did get subbed out early last week, the week before, for an injury, but that seemed not to bother her. She started this week and then was a part of the win. So it looks like Rebecca's doing really well. So we're looking forward to that because when we first saw her, she was a shy girl and didn't pan out. So we had to send her out alone, and it's starting to work out. So that's good news for them. All right. We have had a lot of additions. I'm going to run through them real quick, and if y'all want to add something, Andreas, I'll start with you with these rookies we're about to go through. Well, 4 or 5 rookies and then 2 additions. So Cat Raider, Cat Router, Cat whatever her last name is. We've been asking for a cat for 6 months now since the season ended. We did get a cat, not the cat we were asking
Not my
for.
cat, but that's a cat, I guess.
Cat Macario, for Dani, context is who we were asking for from Chelsea, a U.S. women's national player. But we got a Cat Raider. I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm butchering it. She's a forward from Duke. She's signed through 2028, U.S. women's national team prospect. She's been playing through the ranks. She's a goal scorer. She's made all the college accolades, whatever. So excited for this one. Leah Klinke is a defender from Notre Dame, signed through 2028. She's a Houston native, played through Albion. Also, there you go, those H's. Also a U.S. women's national team prospect, playing through the ranks. Linda Ullmark. Pronunciations again, apologies. Midfielder, North Carolina through 2029, U.S. women's national team, and a 2024 national champion. I believe Linda Ullmark did not play with Avery Patterson. Avery Patterson came out just before, and Ullmark only did 2 years with her. Going back to Cat Raider, she did play with Maggie Graham, by the way, so got a good playing right there. All right, moving on. Cat Fosse, F-A-S-S-E, is a forward from North Carolina through 2028. She was the Matt Herman Award winner. So I guess that's the National Player of the Year, Dani?
What?
Yeah, that's the National Player of the Year. U.S. Women National Team prospect. Also a TST champion, which is that 8v8 or 7v7 little, however they play. Also a 2024 champion as well. Caroline De La Salle, however you say her friggin' name, is a goalkeeper we've signed as well from Central Florida a couple years ago. She's a free transfer as she has a couple years in Sweden. In Sweden, I believe So she comes over free as we needed an experienced keeper, obviously. But we still have 500 other keepers on the roster, too. Mackenzie Rob is a forward. She's a former national champ as well through 2026, so Philly has the 1 year. She's an experienced forward that we needed to sign just for backup and just safety and everything like that. Don't expect too much from her, but you never know. Has the experience, is won anything and everything at every level and every team that she's played on. Andres, anything that popped out for those additions, those signings that we made right there? Anything you want to comment on?
Yeah, more so the rookies. Looking forward to them. Of course, we'll definitely see how they pan out. I'm mostly looking at Kate Fassey because, of course, my camera winner, and how she's gonna be able to slot in our front line. And I've said at the start of off season, the Dash need to do everything they can to revolutionize their front line because they are scoring a dangerously low amount of goals. That's mainly one of the reasons why we haven't been able to win games or get results on the road because we have not been able to consistently create those opportunities in most occasions. Granted, they've been able to sort that out over time, especially last year, but it's not consistent enough and they need to score more. And speaking of that, Mackenzie Robbie, that's definitely one of the players I can definitely see starting like next year. More so of a question is how is she gonna be, how is she gonna be playing in the front line? Because is she gonna be a target? Is she gonna be the player that can definitely put the ball forward? It's more so of a question that remains to be seen since it's pretty early. But I'm a little bit more hopeful now with the scoring situation that we have. But we'll see.
The midfielder, Linda Ulmark, was an attacking midfielder as well. So a lot
Yeah.
of attacking pieces added right there. Danny, what stood out to you in those additions right there this year that the Dash have done?
So kind of the same players. I'm excited for Mackenzie Robbie. She may not be starting, but she is from San Diego Waves. So again, because we're starting the season with them, maybe she'll kind of give us a little, secrets. But then Kate Fossey, just because again she was a top player of women's college, and from what I was reading, she averaged 35 goals in 4 years, and we need some help with our goals. And so I'm hoping that she can definitely help us with like certain plays and how she was managing to get through those defenders. But then also our goalkeeper, Caroline DeLeasley, because we don't have Abby Smith anymore. We don't have Heather, and we rely a lot on Jane Campbell. As we should, she's great, but she also needs a break. And so I'm hoping that she can be a good asset for that.
Yep.
She has a good experience, so that is a good thing to point out, Danny. That as we saw last year, Abby Smith got a 5-game skint and Jane did not get to play. So I'm hoping it's nothing like that. Like take her out for a game, let the other keeper start, which whatever we decide to go with, and then Jane can go back in the net. Let's not do a whole thing right there and just give a trial out. So Jane Campbell's the keeper. Let's let the backup play here and there, spot starts, and see if we can work that way. And if she's something special, then she can deserve and get it. But that one threw us for a loop, through a loop last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also excited about Kate Fossey or Fox, Herman Award winner, just can create, confident player. Man, all these signings right here, I don't think any of them are just somebody to wash away. These are all great signings, have great accolades in college, performed All-American players, so special. And then you go out and you get the veteran goalkeeper, and then, as y'all mentioned, Mackenzie Robbie. So that leads me to the next question. I want to start with you on this one, Danny. There is a history of Houston, and this goes to Dynamo and Dash, where players don't want to come to Houston. Players don't want to play for Houston. They may enjoy the city, they may like the city. They're not enjoying the club, and they're not enjoying what the club provides for them. Is under Daddy Ted, sorry, we like to call him Daddy Ted or Big Daddy Ted, is Houston desirable for players or becoming desirable for players? And I ask this because the type of additions we just had with these 4 college players alone, the type of players they are, the potential players they are, 16 teams in the NWSL, now the second league of women's trying to fight for players as well with Dallas Trinity in that league. And we're able to grab these highly talented players. Is Houston becoming desirable for players?
I think since last year we didn't finish last, I think that was a good sign to begin with. Overall, our team has been really good, and I think they are very coordinated. I think under the new coach of Van Brees, I think he did much better than what Fran did because Fran kind of just messed up all that the vibe.
Yeah.
So I'm players will click, and that it'll become a good team. I mean, they wanted to come here. It looked like they were excited to come over, and so that's a good sign.
It's been a history with the club where it's undesirable for the club to altogether. But as we mentioned, Ted has been here for 3 years now. Angela has been here for one full season. Jessica's still at the helm above her, but Angela's been doing a great job since being in here. Pat doing the trust the process over there. It took 3 years to get people excited during an off season, which they're doing right now. Angela doing a great job here on the dash side of things. So, Andres, does that help to make Houston desirable?
It does, and honestly, the main thing that, of course, we talked about like for a while now. Whenever the club actually started to build specific positions for the dash, not just like president of soccer and that's it. Obviously, there's more expanded departments in the dash right now that make it look like an actual organization, not just called Dynamo Female or anything like that. So it's great as a first step. The second step is more so becoming a type of organization where players actually start coming in, and we've already seen it with last year whenever players, or actually 2 years ago, whenever we had like a pretty bad season, we had a lot of turnover. A lot of players came in return though, and then most of those players actually like stuck around if they're not on like significant short deals, and really when it comes down to that, I feel like the next step more than anything, and it's one thing that I've been trying to keep an eye on Angela, even though it's pretty difficult, is to try to bring in that type of star that teams are gonna say, okay, that player that plays for Houston, okay, we're gonna watch out for that player because I mean the Dash were able to do it in the first year, especially when they've been able to bring in Carly Lloyd, but ever since then, of course, the team has not been didn't have a pretty good track record when it comes to having a project or set project and coaches, of course. So it was very difficult to sell that. But of course, I 100% believe in Fabrice in the product that he's building, and I believe he can sell that for sure. But if Angela is able to bring in that star player, I feel like we're gonna get to the next level.
I think Angela can answer that by saying we're building up to that point to where we
Yeah.
can grab somebody like that and confidently convince them to come to Houston. You probably have the resources now, but you're still building that home that somebody needs to feel comfortable in, especially depending on where they're moving from. Because some of those players, Danny, that we were asking for were players that were playing in Europe and had been playing in Europe or live in Europe, and you're moving across the other side of the world, and you know it's different. So it's an adjustment. So you want to make it comfortable and adjustable, and you want to trust the club that you're play for.
You
So
also
with
can't have players as like last in the out of everyone. You know, if we're in last place, you can't expect certain players to want to come join us. And even though we only moved up a few spots, I think that's still improvement given the 1 year that he has been with us.
right, everybody can
Yeah,
believe in the vision and they
and
can
players
trust the
talk.
vision, but right, you got to
Yeah,
perform
players
too.
talk, agents talk. Like at the end of the day, if you have a good organization, they're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be a word of mouth. So like
Yeah.
it's like as long as you're a healthy organization and you have a pretty good track record, then I feel like over time you're gonna get uh a lot of people like trying to come to Houston.
What the positive? Let's keep moving forward. Let's get some extra wins this year. Let's even make the playoffs this year and show that the direction that the club is going is more than just a positive one. It has a lot more intangibles to it. All right, so which that means the direction of the club. I want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about the direction of the club or the impression of the direction of the club we went out and signed, what was it, 4 college players, a veteran goal, or not really veteran because it's a 2-year experienced goalkeeper out of Central Florida a couple years ago, and a veteran forward. That looks to tell you that the market was, let's go with the youth side of it, and it's more of a rebuild. Danny, would you agree, or would you take it as a different impression? Or what is the direction?
On the rebuilding part,
Or of
I
the
feel like
club, how do you say it? How do you see it right now, the direction of the club as far as
I,
adding players?
I was saying it last year too because we kept swapping out players. And now with Ryan and Alozi and Natalie and Barbara has been out, and I'm glad we kind of replaced them with certain positions. I'm glad that we got some defenders right out of college, just because they're fresh, they're eager, they want to prove that they deserve to be there. And I know that, again, going back to Jane and relying on her a lot, we have to kind of stop the ball. So I'm really excited to see what the defenders will do. And again, right out of college, and they want to be higher than 10th place. So I think
Malia,
it's some good.
Malia Berkeley will be starting as a center back from the start of the season next to Paige Nielsen. So this is going to be an exciting back line. Update, Chapman and Sophie Schmidt will probably not be ready to the start of the season, but will be back. And it looks like Maggie Graham will be back and ready for the start of the season. So that's good news. Andres, direction of the team, where do you look? How do you see it? Which way to go? And is it a rebuild, or is it this is just what we got to do right now?
It's more so what we have to do right now because it's definitely part of the project that Fabrice is trying to pull off with Angela. And on one side, I'm like, I guess it makes sense because the club is trying to test out players that might fit the system and fit the system that Fabrice wants to deploy over the course of the season. But on the other side, I'm like a little bit thinking about what I just mentioned about Angela and trying to bring a star player. Not necessarily like the biggest stars, but rather the type of players that you may be able to recognize by name and really that type of experience in NWSL that's very sought after. Granted, it's easier said than done to bring them over at a stage where you're trying to sell the project to those players, or you just want to like stick to this project and wait for success to come in long term. But yeah, I'll probably say I expect a little bit more things, but at the same time, this is a project, and I feel like this is more so par for the course for this off season so far.
That's a great segue to what's next on our agenda tonight. Was what's next for the Houston Dash. So you kind of spoke to it. We understand the build that we're building, the roster that we're building. The youth is going to fill in the gaps. Some of these players will get some good playing time. And you're making an Fabrice mentioned we are the second oldest team in the league last year. You're not gonna make yourself better being an old team playing in that league. So you do need to get younger, and maybe that was the whole idea between all the young players. And thank you for getting those type of players too, and not just reaching out and just grabbing somebody and giving them a try. And so they're players you expect to see 4 rookies potentially playing on opening day against the San Diego Waves. So San Diego, look out! You don't know what's coming for you because you've never seen them before. But what's next? So you kind of say that, Andres. Is that what needs to be next? Is that high profile player, or do we need to continue to focus in positions?
Honestly, just focus in the project right now because obviously I definitely want a star player to come to Houston, but at the same time, the cost could potentially just be to try to fit that star player into your system, which I feel like it's something that Fabrice is definitely going to hate. And because we know Fabrice, he's gonna roll out the third string keeper on one day, and maybe the third string center back on one day if they have a good training during the week. And if it fits the system, if it fits the mold, he's gonna roll out with that. I'm definitely I could definitely use like a star player. Like, hey, if you want to come off the bench, I'll see. It's kind of outlandish scenario, but really, like I'm more so focused on trying to get the results now. And of course, we saw slow progress last year. And like I said previously, I trust Fabrice. I trust that he can do a good job with the players that he's provided, and he can prove that. But this season is gonna he's gonna have to prove that as well.
You see players like going to Eva, that just went to Denver from PSG, a star
Yeah,
player that anybody in the league would have enjoyed having. And you're going to a team that's starting off brand new, an expansion team, so you don't know what you're getting. The players are of high profile, willing to go to teams who are not for sure going to compete for the NWSL title. So you have to look at the whole aspect. You have to look at the club. Danny, is what's next? Can we go after a high profile player, or like kind of Andrea said, should we stay the par and focus on what we were
Um, I
doing?
I don't think we should expect a quick fix, like kind of Fran was expecting. I am okay with the long term, like a few years. We do have, since we have several new players, and again, several of them being rookies, I think we do have to kind of get our base figured out before we can request that high profile player. Because if they come into a club that's unorganized and they don't really know how to communicate with each other, then they're not going to really be turned on to like join us down here in Houston.
Right, right. So I'm hoping. I'm seeing what the club is doing. And obviously players see more, and they're behind the scenes, and they're telling other players, maybe Avery Patterson and Maggie Graham had a say in trying to recruit these players from North Carolina and Duke, and just what I think a lot has to do with Angela. Angela knows what she's doing. She did it over at Angel City, and she's being able to do it over here. So I'm with it, and I'm going to trust the process here on the Dash side of it. The high profile player is always going to be loved. We'll wait for the surprise one day. We'll continue to wish for Cat Macario or
Kat
a
Macario.
Bunny Shaw. It won't be a Bunny
Yeah,
Shaw, but there are players out there that it would be nice if they could come in, but they have to fit, like you said, like even Danny said, they're going to have to fit. It's part of Fabrice's what he's building. He is the coach right now. He has no reason to go anywhere right now. Just continue to succeed, build your team, build around your team what you have, and bring in the players that you need, and don't reach too far and ruin what you're building. Let's get out of this 10-year rut now. Is it 11, 13-year rut? What are we in now? Jesus, Andres? What, 20, what? 14, 12?
forever. It's been
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
If it's only
Uh,
been one playoff appearance since like 2013, then man, no,
when I
that's
was at that
horrible.
playoff game, the one, it was a sellout. I was behind the friggin' goal where Jade let that one in on the corner, and I was literally
I
right there
was
in the supporter
I
section.
was there right there too, and I felt that go to my heart, and I was like,
Yeah, it was just. But Danny, anything that you want to throw out there about the Houston Dash in this upcoming season for the listeners or for yourself?
Um, no, I don't know. Again, I'm really just excited to see how the players will communicate again since we are getting so many and getting rid of so many. I just want to see that communication there because I really didn't see that. We let the ball just get way too close to the net, and so our defense and everything just need to kind of shape up. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we've been rebuilding on that. Again, we did have some older players. Now we have younger players, and I'm hoping that they can be quicker to get in front of the ball and help prevent that getting closer to whoever's goalie that game. So that's what I always look forward to because I do put such a flex on Jane Campbell, but again, she can only do so much before she does injure herself with all the ball savings that she's doing.
Right. So I'm glad you did mention that because that does remind me that your theme tonight, you kept talking about the defense and protecting Jane Campbell and keeping Jane Campbell healthy. We maybe do need to go out and look at maybe a couple more signings are coming, and maybe they're defenders or we're working on something. College, I think we would have had them already. So maybe we're looking at something within the league where you can make trade. You've seen a few players bounce back and forth from one team to another inside the NWSL over the past month. You've seen a couple players come overseas. You've seen a Trinity Rodman stay here and just transcend the what women are getting paid in the sport. So hopefully that'll continue to go up, and we can continue to bring players over here and grow this friggin' league because it's fun to see them. It's fun to watch the game. It's just fun to watch soccer. Period. But man, Andres, anything else that you want to mention about the Houston Dash as we are soon to close out this episode?
Honestly, just looking forward to the season. Obviously, I want the Dash to win all their games, because last year that gave me. I was fairly negative because even though I kind of knew that it was gonna be a transition year where the team had to figure themselves out, and we saw progress in the tail end, but man, I'm tired of rebuilding. The team has been in this position for so many times, and they've been resetting for so long that I'm at the point where I'm definitely giving a chance to Fabrice, but at the same time, if this season we don't see like progress or improvement or playoffs, it's gonna be bad. So I'm still looking forward to the year. It's definitely gonna be a season where it's gonna tell a lot of things about the team, and man, just looking forward to the project more than anything.
Definitely, definitely. Number one is what you said. Number two is no lightning delays. I'm tired.
No, you didn't have to say that. Now it's
No,
gonna happen.
I
I'm
know.
fighting Mother
We
Nature.
did many. We had many last season for no reason.
We're gonna get the double of that thanks to OSG.
No,
You
look,
shouldn't have said that.
I'm already ruined. I drive there. That's the only game in the weekend, and then I gotta wait 16 hours just for the game to friggin' happen. And like, well, I didn't have a place to stay tonight, and I'm supposed to drive back home. So it's a 2.5 hour drive to begin with already. And so, like, all right, I'm fighting Mother Nature. If she wants to ruin us, I'm gonna fight back. I don't know how, but we're not gonna have it this year. Maybe one and for 45-minute delay because the sun's out. So that's it, man. But I'll be nice now. I'll be nice to Mother Nature. I'm sorry, girl. All right. Well, towards the end here, man, I promised we were going to go quick through this one. 37 minutes. I'm kind of excited. 37
Yeah,
minutes
we
with
got some
three
change
people on
there.
the
Yeah.
show. Had a new guest on today. So I love it. We got through a lot of content. Well, y'all just wait till the season's going though, because it makes it harder to fill this in, to fill the hour gap in. This was 37 minutes. It was quick. It was easy, but when it's time to talk the games and win or lose, it's going to fill that hour up. But Dani, thank you for hopping on tonight. I'm sure a lot of people listening may know you or know of you or may not know of you. So if you want to tell them who you are and tell them where to find you, and we look forward to having you on the show more this year.
Yes, I love joining y'all today. I go by Dani. Y'all can find me at H-Town Sports Fangirl, where I literally just follow all sorts of sports, and Dash happens to be one of my favorites.
You're not about to run out and go to a game here in a minute, or a sporting event, or a pop up or something here in a second.
Not right now.
No, it's crazy because people that obviously I follow you on socials, and it seems like, Jesus, you're at something every single day, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. This is fun. I'm jealous. I'm inspired. So I love to see where you're at and where we're going to see you tomorrow. So y'all, you just gave her social, give her a follow. Andres, same thing. Foxtrot Media, man. Throw out the socials real quick. Remind everybody, since it's been a month and a half since they talked to us.
Yeah, man. But for any of the Dash fans tuning in for the first time this year, dynamicfoxtrot.com, our brand new website where we're gonna be posting a ton more content that we've been putting out lately. We've been very busy this off season working on the content we're gonna be bringing you guys this year, and man, Dash is to the forefront. We're gonna be going all out on Dash, like Dash Dispatch, Dash no matter what, Dash this, Dash that, Dash anything, honestly. So it's gonna we're gonna have like a blog content already put up in that website, and of course, if you're watching Dash Dispatch, you're in the right place. youtube.com/@dynamic Foxtrot. Dynamic Foxtrot is also going to be the handle for our Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Instagram. I also have a second handle on X called Anudo Tiempo. It's going to be our team just focused on bringing you guys coverage for Dash, Dynamo, those. The season's about to start, so make sure you are following, subscribing, and giving us feedback. and because it goes a long way. And of course, if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, I would appreciate it if you are following and rating our episodes, so that way we are going great in the algorithm. So we'd appreciate your support either way. And thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to this year.
That's what's up. Now you know where to follow, know where to be, know where to find us. You know where to find Dani. Hopefully, Dani will be on the show a little more often this season with us, so we'll keep y'all in touch with that. But as y'all know, we do like to bring on guests onto the show. We'll keep that going this season. So we have, a couple weeks till the Dash have a preseason game. So we'll probably be 2 weeks before we come back on. But I also want to give it a shout out to the U.S. Women's National Team. They did win in their games over the past week. Avery Patterson was not available. Yasmin Ryan did play in the second game and was accounted for an assist. So good to see them both still in the camp. Even though Avery was sick, she's the starting right back over there. So we ain't worried about her. Yaz is fighting for her position, but that's a tough thing to do for the U.S. Women's National Team and positions up there that are fighting for that wing or that forward or wherever the position is she's playing. A lot of great talent right there. But this is, and this will always be the Dash Dispatch. I want to thank the Dynamic Foxtrot. I want to thank Dani. Appreciate y'all for coming on tonight and making this the best episode to start off the 2026 season. We look forward to seeing y'all in the stands on the concourse. You know where to find us. Look for these heads right here. These are the talking heads. We're going to talk Dash Dispatch. And we have other friends amongst everybody else, but right now we're going to talk to them. So we'll see you in the stadium. Game days will be not live, but they'll be lit. There we go. Game days will be lit again, and we'll bring you all that good content. Go check out Foxtrot TV. You heard the website. Go through that. It'll take you anywhere you need to go. Looking forward to it. Having fun. What do we do here? We say H is up. See y'all next time, people.
Go beyond.
Go beyond. That's right. H.
Yeah.